Triolo is the RNC Election Integrity Communications Director, Republican National Committee. Thanks for being with us. You know, a lot of people love mail-in ballots. What happened for this problem to arise? And is it indicative of bigger problems in the system or just kind of a one-off?
Well, absolutely. I mean, this is why election integrity matters. This is why you see a president who is passing 2 executive orders and a Republican National Committee that has waged 140 lawsuits across the country right now to secure the ballot box. We even have a case before the Supreme Court, Watson versus RNC, to make sure that mail-in ballots aren't counted after Election Day. 14 states around the nation are doing this already, and it is time that we crack down on election fraud in this country. America is the best place in the world, and there's no excuse that our elections also aren't the best in the world.
You know, the conservative group Maryland Freedom Caucus is speaking out about this. In a statement, the group said, quote, "We demand to know how the state intends to differentiate between the first and second printing of these ballots. The citizens have a right to know the exact process by which ballots will be scrutinized." I mean, it seems pretty obvious. If you have basically 500,000 ballots that are sent out that are inauthentic, what measures were taken to ensure that the ballots that are actually sent in are the real ones? Are they different colors? Do they have different serial numbers? Do you have any insight into what, if anything, was done? Or perhaps to President Trump's point, some things in elections should never happen, and this is clearly one of them.
Absolutely. This is an inexcusable error, but the RNC is working in partnership with the state GOP to make sure that voters are educated, to make sure that there is a hotline that anyone can call if they suspect any fraud or any funny business when it comes to these reprinted ballots. We also have a large boots on the ground campaign, a Protect the Vote initiative, to make sure that people are informed. Election integrity is the backbone of one of the president's agendas. And of course, all of us here at the RNC are working to make sure that our elections are secure ahead of the midterms. And we have seen problems in Maryland before. The RNC already sued Maryland just in December for non-accurate voter rolls. They had more people registered to vote than actually lived in certain counties. So we've seen problems before, and we are taking an active approach to crack down on this management and fraud.
You know, to that specific point about more people enrolled than alive and living in certain counties. And we see this problem in many places. In New York, where the voter rolls remain quite porous and uncleaned. And so how do we actually have accountability? We've been talking about these issues for years, but at some point, you have to get to the point where we don't have people who are 110 and 115 and 120 on the voter rolls. That's not good for anybody, even if there's actually nothing wrong afoot.
You're absolutely right. And I am born and raised in California. There was even a point where someone's dog was on our voter rolls. I don't know if you remember that story, but we have launched the largest ever public records request in 48 states and Washington, D.C. to make sure that all voter rolls are accurately maintained. The RNC is focusing on making sure those are clean, proof of citizenship, photo ID, and really making sure that our elections are secure. When every American goes to the ballot box, they should feel confident in their vote, and they should know that when they wake up the day after an election, whatever those results are trusted and secure.
All right. Allie Triolo, thank you so much for being with us.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.